I think it's safe to say that 2020 has been the year of content. With everyone inside during the pandemic, people desperately needed content to entertain themselves with. And when scripted series could not keep up with the demand, people turned to YouTube and TikTok for their entertainment. And because of this, YouTube had quite the glow up this year, with tons of creators reaching heights never seen before. And today I'm going to be listing the top 10 YouTubers that dominated 2020. I'm Mackenzie, you're watching InformOverload, and let's get into it. Starting off at number 10, we have James Charles. James Charles was an obvious one for me because after his disastrous 2019 scandal, James has proved that he is back and better than ever. And his projects and collaborations with TikTok stars has made him the most relevant he's been on the platform. And this year he has grown tremendously, gaining over 5 million subscribers, having 25 million in total as of now. He also launched YouTube's first beauty competition show, Instant Influencer, this year too, breaking records along the way. And because of his momentum this year, he's had some all-star collabs like Doja Cat, all of the major TikTokers, Kylie Jenner, and Lil Nas X. It seems this year James is on fire, and it doesn't look like he's going to be slowing down anytime soon. And even through the pandemic, James has been consistent with his posting. And while tons of other YouTubers slowed down in the pandemic, James knew that people needed content to watch, and he supplied it. In at number 9, Logan Paul. Logan Paul is another person who has been dominating the platform recently, and he's been branching out to bigger and better things too. Logan currently has 23 million subscribers on his main channel, and this year he transitioned from long videos to more David Dobrik-esque vlogs, and that's getting him 5 to 8 million views on all his recent vlogs. His podcast Impulsive has also been killing it, and even though it didn't start this year, it keeps getting bigger and bigger. And this year specifically, because of the pandemic, it went from a guest-based show to a show about Logan and his friends. And this has allowed his fans to connect with him like never before. He's even been nominated for First Person Award at the 2020 Streamies, as well as Best Podcast for Impulsive. It was also just announced that Logan will be fighting Floyd Mayweather Jr., which is truly unbelievable. And looking back at how far he's come since his massive Japan scandal, when he was YouTube's biggest disgrace, just shows he's the comeback king. I think I'm gonna say it. And at number 8, Shane Dawson. So this is a bit of a different way to look at it, but Shane was definitely one of the people that dominated the platform this year, just not in the way that he hoped. Shane's cancellation was the biggest of 2020 so far, and I would say it's probably second to James Charles as the biggest cancellation of all time. Shane has over 21 million subscribers on YouTube, and he's still one of the biggest creators right now. And his apology video currently has 18 million views. In the beginning of the year, the Dramageddon update surrounding Shane, Jeffree, and Tati was really all anyone could talk about, and it caused a massive downfall in all 3 of their careers. In my opinion, it seems that Shane will be making a comeback soon, and I guess we'll have to wait and see what that reaction is going to be. In at number 7, Jake Paul. This is another one that hasn't been good, but Jake Paul has been at the center of discussion for pretty much the last year, even though his YouTube videos in particular are probably the least talked about thing about him. This time last year, Jake and Tana were still married, even though everyone was counting the days till it was over. And in the beginning of the year, nobody seemed to care about Jake unless it was related to Tana. That was until the summer, when all the scandal around COVID happened for Jake. It started when he was caught partying multiple times in spite of the pandemic. Then things got way worse for him when he was caught looting at a Scottsdale mall. This even caused the FBI to raid his house, which was definitely a first for a YouTuber. Then he got put on the Mike Tyson-Roy Jones Jr. undercard, which earned him some respect in the boxing world. But that diminished when before the fight, he called COVID a hoax and said that it was just like the flu. However, he was able to slightly redeem himself when he knocked out Nate Robinson in that boxing match and earned the respect of real fighters like Tyson. In at number 6, Chloe Ting. Chloe Ting is an Australian YouTuber and fitness personality that's been nominated for a Shorty Award in the health and wellness category. And her channel saw a massive spike in growth related to the pandemic, as when gyms closed, everyone needed good at-home workouts. Chloe currently has 16 million YouTube subscribers, and just so you can get an idea of how much she exploded just this year, she had 2.3 million subscribers in January of 2020 and has quickly jumped to 16 million subscribers. Her channel is now the #1 channel for workout content, and the most popular video on her channel to date, titled Get Abs in 2 Weeks, currently sits at 258 million views. Whoa, that's a lot of views. Halfway at number 5, Dixie D'Amelio. Like most of you, I don't like seeing TikTokers on the YouTube trending page. like every other day. And in my opinion, most of their videos are trash. And even though I'm not personally a fan of Dixie's, it's hard to ignore the success that she's had on YouTube. And I really credit this to her dedication. For a lot of these TikTokers, their YouTube seems like something that they're just doing because their management tells them to. But with the amount Dixie uploads, it's clear that this is something that she really wants to pursue. And because of this, I swear almost every time she posts, she's on the trending page. She also started a new segment that I really haven't seen many YouTubers do, and that's an interview style show where she talks to influencers and celebrities. She also is the first TikToker to get into mainstream music, and she's collaborated with Wiz Khalifa, Black Bear, and Lil Mosey. Currently, she is close to 7 million subscribers, but she's growing fast and is on track to be the biggest TikToker who moved over to YouTube. In at number 4, Unus Annus. Definitely said that wrong. Unus Annus was a channel made by Markiplier and Crank Gameplays. And the term Unus Annus means 1 year. And the point of the channel was for both of them to make out of the box content together for 1 year. Then when the year was over, the channel would be deleted. And when I say content for 1 year, the pair made a new video on the channel every single day of the year, which is just so crazy in itself. The channel was launched November 15th of 2019, and throughout the life of the channel, it gained close to 5 million subscribers. Then on November 14th of 2020, they held a live stream to commemorate the life of the channel. Then at midnight, it was completely deleted, fulfilling their mission, even though they would have made way more money and accolades if they just kept it going. In at number 3, the Bon Appetit cast. The popular cooking channel Bon Appetit was brought into a firestorm after racially insensitive photos came out of the CEO, as well as massive pay disparities between the white and cast members of color were revealed. This caused the host of the popular cooking show to boycott making videos until the pay disparities were addressed. And since this took just way too long, the most loved members of the cast decided to leave for greener pastures. One was Sola, who moved on to work with Binging with Babish, and she now has a show on his channel called Stump Sola. Then another host, Claire Sophis, decided to take a bold move and start her own cooking channel, and currently it has 240,000 subscribers, but I believe it will grow really fast, as one of her videos was on the trending page the other day. And thankfully, it seems that the former Bon Appetit cast is doing just fine without their former network. And at number 2, Larri. Larri is a YouTuber turned TikToker who is now massive on both platforms. He first gained mainstream attention as part of the Hype House, but since then he's gone on to be one of its most successful members. And his transition over to YouTube has been seamless, with him having over 7.5 million subscribers at the time of recording. And his views are completely insane, with him getting roughly 5 to 10 million views a video. And it seems that YouTube is aware of this crazy growth, as he's been nominated for Creator of the Year at the Streamies this year. With the Streamies even declaring him as a YouTuber, even though he has 20 million followers on TikTok. And even though he had a party during COVID, which we're not gonna forget, I have to admit he is my favorite TikToker turned YouTuber, and he clearly puts a lot of effort into his videos, and they are like seriously hilarious. They're really funny. And finally, number 1, MrBeast. MrBeast can and should be crowned the king of YouTube at this point, because his absolutely massive channel just keeps growing. He currently has 48 million subscribers, and he's currently the 11th most subscribed to channel in America. So obviously a massive accomplishment. And with him gaining 100,000 subscribers about every other day, it's clear his momentum will not be slowing down. MrBeast is known for his outrageous videos where he gives massive donations, competitions for insane prizes, and he tests his limits with challenges I truly cannot believe are even possible. He was also responsible for a $300,000 influencer trivia tournament this year, where he got some of the world's biggest influencers involved in a trivia challenge for charity. And each of his videos get roughly 20 to 40 million views. And I honestly don't think anyone is pulling those kind of views consistently other than him. Alright guys, that's all for the video today. Let me know who you think was the #1 YouTuber on the platform this year, and let me know any that I missed. I was gonna put Emma Chamberlain on this list, but I really just didn't think she was as relevant as some of these other people for this year, even though I'm still obsessed with her and love her, of course. But now I'm gonna shout out some comments from my video on secrets influencers tried to hide. Cloud420 said, the community is full of fake people. It shows pictures of Jeffrey, James, and Shane. I mean, we're not sure about James, you know what I mean? Like, James is 50-50 to me, but definitely Jeffrey and Shane. Then Jay Marshall said, a secret a lot of people don't know. Reality TV is fake AF. All those music contests, all those housewives, The Bachelor, fake. It's really unfortunate. The music ones are the worst. Like American Idol, The Voice, those are the worst. People have gone on American Idol when they are not newbies at all. They've literally had recording contracts that like fell through or whatever. Yeah, a lot of it is BS, I will admit. Then Michael Shane said, the fact that Kylie Jenner's pregnancy broke the internet shows how sad our society has become, that millions of people actually cared about Kylie Jenner's pregnancy. for me, I think it was just so fascinating because you have to remember, she's number one, the biggest influencer in the world, and number two, she was so young. She was only like 20 when she gave birth. So it was just like, whoa, this, you know, super hot young person who is the biggest influencer that could do anything in the world that she wants is deciding to have a child. Like, it was just kind of a really shocking thing that people couldn't piece together. So when it happened, we were like, wow, she really made like a very mature decision. So that's why I was personally so kind of glued to it. I was like, wow, why is she doing what she's doing? It was just kind of a mind boggler. But congrats to her. Stormi is amazing. We love her. Alright guys, that is all for the video today. Thanks so much for sticking around. If you made it all the way here, and if you like the channel, make sure to like and sub below to see some more of us. I've been your host, Mackenzie Smith, and I'll catch you all in the next one.